Hello and welcome back to my best friend. Currently has computer issues and I can't play Overwatch to get them sweet loot boxes with her. Basically, yeah, I'm incredibly bored and I'm also downloading stuff on my PS4. Nothing you're going to see on my channel. Unless for some reason I find somebody who's willing to play fighting games with me on my channel. Yeah. And I don't mean online either. I mean like sit right next to me, do some commentary. Get some Tekken, some Street Fighter. I have Skullgirls. Trying to think of other fighting games I have to entice people with. Nothing's leaping to mind. A couple anime fighters, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I like fighting games. No one's willing to play with me. Anyways. Contest Venue Masters Room. Ah, yeah. Oh, partner's bad? Huh. Thought it would be Young Shields. Anyways, let's, examine this here. Already, knowing that they don't actually do the chalk outline, that's already funny to me. But the fact that they put it down that way underneath the boat that's on it, that's just silly. You couldn't have... I guess you can't move the boat if it's all solid chocolate, but I would have... Obviously, the competition's a bit wrecked at this point. I'd have cut the, you know, rudder there. It's not the rudder, whatever the front part of the boat is. It's a weird place for an anchor, for the record. Front of the ship. Yeah, whatever the front part of that boat is, I'd have cut that off so I could, you know, pull the dead guy out, too, because they had to move him around that. No one's gonna want to eat the chocolate a dead guy's been resting on, okay? You're fine to cut it up. It's something, man. So this is where the body was discovered. Oh god, you have no idea how easier these guys are on my voice than Miles and crew. Yeah! And then of course I have this guy. The body has been removed, but otherwise the crime scene has remained untouched. If I had to do one thing differently about Bad, it's that I feel like he's a bit too sinister. And he's not a bad guy, it's just his name. It seems the body was discovered inside the chocolate treasure chest. The person who discovered it was Miss Hall. Oh yeah.
Monsieur Master, are you in here? Eek!
She heard the sound of something breaking inside this room and came in. Something breaking? I guess it could be the lid to the chest? It seems like that was meant... whatever. Might be that chunk underneath the chest there. Looks like it's missing. It's probably the chest. I would like a little more information about this. What's this? Something has been dropped inside the treasure chest. This is... It seems to be some kind of seal, and with a design of initials carved in. H... Q? Upside down it'd be BH. Looks like a signet crest. Was the victim's? I don't know if it was the victim's, but we should take it for now. Are they really gonna do the upside down thing again? I have no idea what that could possibly... I mean, let me refresh myself. It's been a couple weeks. Shields, Jeffrey Masters, Isaac Dover, Catherine Hall, kinda cute, and Tyrell Bad. An eagle-eyed homicide detective in charge of the case. Strong silent type. Likes mirrors. Oh god, I can't remember his voice. I specifically checked to see what Bad's voice was. Hopefully I'll have a moment before the next episode to go and check what Master's voice was. I think just kind of like cheesy showman. Examine the outline here. Nah, it's all the same. I thought the outline might be different from the little silver dot. Wish there were a better way to skip through. Like a quicker way, I mean. Okay. I guess I could look at the chest. I guess I can't. Okay, what is this? It seems the stand sporting the ship has been broken. Red rum? It's a curious reference to make, Japan. The ship tipped over and broke a treasure chest, didn't it? Ah, maybe. Could the victim have been crushed by the ship and killed? If that were the case, this would have been an accidental death. You two aren't serious about that, right? That would mean he would be in the chest. Well, we were only discussing one of the possibilities. I was being pretty serious, though. That's why you're an assistant, right? Shut up. Detective Bad, I would like you to tell me about the state of the victim. If you mean a photo of the body, here, look at it. All you like. I'd have pegged it as a woman, to be perfectly honest. Victim appears to have been beaten to death with a blunt object. Ugh. That's always charming. Has the murder weapon been found? You should try asking the prosecutor in charge later. It seems he doesn't intend to tell me, frankly. So they have a theory, but Bad doesn't buy it, and that's what I'm getting from that. So, may I borrow this photograph? Sure. It's not a photo that was taken by the police. Here's a lollipop. Miss Hall took a photo of the body with an instant camera when she discovered it. That's a curious first reaction, isn't it?
An instant camera? Is that like a disposable camera?
Oh shit, what year is this supposed to be? Okay, so the Phoenix Wright games. First one took place in like 2015, I think. The very first one. By the end of the third game, I think it was about 2018. So call it 2019, 2020. That means this is 2001 to 2002. I always like the Phoenix Wright timeline. It's very interesting. And somebody went to a great deal of effort to make the whole thing coherent and actually splayed out in a map there. But, like, one of the first things is that the Kingdom of Zhengfa is founded. Although with the new game and the fucking Curane... Hi, motorcycle outside. The fucking Curane country or whatever it is, country of Curane. That's, I think that's even older than Zhengfa. No references to Zhengfa, son of a bitch. An Instacamera is just a camera that can develop its film right after taking a picture. Ah! One of those, okay.
Ah, such a convenient camera exists.
Anyway, let's go over the state of the crime scene a bit. For 2001 to 2002, I buy that digital hadn't quite made its stamp on the world, and that there were still instant cameras. This photo, upon closer examination, contradicts the state of the crime scene. Does it? I'll have to deduce the contradiction to resolve the matter. How is it contradicted? I need to check this. Let's see here. Can I see the photo? Please? A little bit better than that. Like, come on now. Touch the check button for details. Can I see... Okay, there we go. Victim's body was found treasure chest made of chocolate in Jeff Master's room. The cause of death seems to be a hard blow in the head of one object. Other than the fact that the body is there... I guess it's missing the bottom where the blood would be. That was probably taken for examination, though, eh? Or can I... I can't. Okay. Well, we can use some logic right away. Breaking sound and broken stand. That should be relatively easy. Due to the broken stand, the ship lost its balance. It would seem Miss Hall entered the room upon hearing the ship collapse. Yeah, when Miss Hall entered the room, the ship had already fallen over. At any rate, I wonder why the stand broke. It's a good question, actually. Maybe there was something wrong with the ship's balance in the first place. Is that really true? It's possible. He's just floating a theory, man. What's my logic? The ship breaking and beating to... That could be connected, honestly, but we'll come back to that later. Let's see. I like the picture of water fountain. That's pretty cool. The chocolate map is really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Before we come to the guy who did it, let's examine this over here. Elegant tableware and cookware are placed on this counter. It looks like the same tea set Miss Hall was using earlier.
Was Master Jeff drinking this black tea?
On this tea set. On this tea set, only Jeff's fingerprints were found. Alright, so I had some tea. What of it? Where's fingerprints found on any of the other cookware? The cookware was washed. Nobody's fingerprints remained. Or I might have been cooking with gloves on. It seems the only thing here with his fingerprints is the tea set. Huh. It's actually relevant. I assumed it was just fluff text. Like I have no doubt talking to these cops, and these barrels and such will be. It appears to be a display of sailing equipment. There's also the possibility that one of these is the murder weapon. No, it looks like the pieces were all made out of chocolate. You can't beat someone to death with these. Not with that attitude. Come on, Gregory. Misleading. At any rate, they all have such good workmanship that they look just like the real thing. Except for the fact that they're clearly chocolate. It really speaks about the level of skill Mr. Masters has in his craft. It would have to be an odd color of chocolate to match the texture of wood, you know? Like, I'm colorblind, but I can tell the difference between a piece of wood, a wood barrel and a chocolate barrel. Jeez. Could have been dyed, I guess. What are you investigating? Sir, I'm checking the temperature of the stream. What? What have you learned? Sir, this stream has warm water. The stream is connected to the fountain in the patio and runs through every room. It's an unusual construction for a room. The minds of the rich, I'll never understand. I'd like to point out that is different from the president. Somebody mentioned I should not reuse voices. While I have a theory on why this may be, he was vague about it, so I'm not gonna think too much about that. Just keep in mind I won't be reusing voices. Bad is more of a, well, Mr. Detective. Whereas the president of Zhengfa is more, and I will. It is much more shoutier. Of course, that means I'm gonna need something else for Von Karma, given that that was sort of my go-to Von Karma voice in previous games. No, I haven't played them on my channel, don't bother looking, I sort of just voiced them in my head. What about over here? Was there nothing suspicious in the cupboard? No, sir. So there was something. Oh, no. Only things like cooking burners and tableware were placed there. I see. Defense attorney, was there nothing that you noticed? No. So you did notice something? Oh, no, I didn't notice anything. Everyone's always given replies that are difficult to understand. I think it's your way of asking what's bad. I like that. Fluff text on bad. Bad was one of my favorites from the last game. Anyway, so this guy did it. I refuse to, even when the case will be closed and it will be someone else, this guy did it. Excuse me, but you are... For God's sakes. My apologies. I was meditating. What did you ask, Sir Detective? Actually, I'm a defense attorney. My name is Gregory Edgeworth.
I'm his assistant, Raymond.
Pardon my late introduction. I don't like that. Dan Gustavia. Yo soy Dan Gustavia. Pardon my late introduction. Nah, I don't like that. I would go hardcore Japanese, but I kind of gave that to Sawit. The theme doesn't help. I could be terribly offensive and go stereotypical Chinese.
Pardon my late introduction.
No, I'm not doing that. Not gonna do that. It doesn't suit him anyways. Pardon my late introduction. That's similar to Sawit, but I think it's difficult enough that I could get by. My name is Dan Gustava. I think the way I'm differentiating that from Sawit is it's the same tone, but Sawit has a thick accent, whereas this guy has no accent.
I am one of the pastry chefs participating in this contest.
What kind of dessert do you make, Mr. Gustava?
Jeez. That's legitimately impressive. Shame you're a murderer. Damn!
My specialty is making desserts out of candy.
Isn't that already a dessert?
Oh, what a cute seahorse.
It was meant to be a dragon dancing in the sky.
This is a dragon?
All I can make are seahorses. It's very upsetting.
I would think it fit better in the ocean than the sky.
I know all too well that design is my weak point.
Nah, dude, just go for seahorses. You got that down pat. Make a thing. As soon as people go, hey, that looks like this,
Be like, yes, I know. I plan to study design and undergo training in Zheng Fa.
God, people Zheng Fa, they are all intense. Lang's intense. The president, when he's not fat, is super intense. This guy's crazy intense. The ambassador was super intense. I think the ambassador was Zheng Fa. In the last game, I mean. I probably shouldn't touch the subject of design any further. Mr. Gustavia, if you aren't related to the investigation, why are you in this room?
Sir Detective warned me to know more about desserts in this room. Wanted to know more about desserts in this room, so he asked me to come.
Since he's one of the contestants, he might know something. I'm kind of getting into the hang of his voice. Give me... I like the ascot that looks like an icing squeezer. Give me some time. I'll get into his voice. Mr. Gustavia, those instruments you use are quite unusual. It is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Chicken! Probably an eagle. That's what he was aiming for.
These instruments are called candy pumps, and they pump air into the candy.
They kind of look like swords. They're so cool.
Indeed, ever since I began using them, no day has gone by where I didn't receive a burn or wound. That's why I wear red clothes, so not a single stain will ever show on me.
I think you're cooking wrong if you're wounding yourself every time you
Making desserts is a serious business. I am always training.
Does he interest himself because he hasn't trained enough? Oh, interesting. Can you tell me about the Great Dessert Contest that was held here? From the looks of this room, it seems the desserts weren't just for eating.
The exhibition Sir Master held was a contest in the art of dessert.
The art of dessert?
Desserts that are true works of art, made solely out of edible materials. The works of art in this room are all made from desserts.
Now that you mention it, the whole room is filled with the smell of chocolate.
Sir Master exhibits great talent in both flavor and design. If you are not able to surpass Sir Master in flavor and design, you will not be able to win.
Beating the world's greatest pastry chef is pretty hard, isn't it?
In other words, if I can surpass Sir Master, I shall become the world's greatest pastry chef.
So he did it. But I don't want him to have done it, because he's cool. He's a pastry chef that constantly injures himself, but is trying to be a badass. Come on. Gotta love the guy.
That was the prize of this contest.
The prize is title of the world's greatest.
In addition to that, there is also Sir Master's treasured Angel's recipe. If you want to learn more about the contest, just look at this piece of paper you probably should have gotten earlier. These were the rules that were given to the participants of the contest.
I really probably should look at that. Yeah, alright, let's see it. Prize, contestants' room will be judged. So you need to fill the room with your own shit. Okay. Contestants' room will be judged starting from the left. Afterwards, the parties will meet in Jeff's room. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Okay. Entering another contestant's room before the judging is done is prohibited. Fair enough. That's it. I assume when they say any decorations not made from desserts prohibited, they're not including things like plates and tablecloths. Although someone probably did that one year just to show somebody else up. Anyways, about the case.
Sorry, but I don't know much about the incident. I only learned about the incident after the judging had finished.
How was the contest judging carried out?
Let's see. Sir Master started judging at 3 p.m.
Okay, so Master's room, Gustavia's room, Delicia's room, and Dover's room. So, who's Delicia? I don't know what EV is. Elevator? Fountain patio. Security room, rec room, garden. Is Delicia... No, that's hall. Seems we haven't met Delicia yet. What do you want to bet she's going to have ginormous knockers? Because it's a Phoenix Wright game. I'm sorry, it's a Miles Edgeworth game.
Starting from my room, the judging proceeded in a clockwise direction.
So there were only 3 of you?
I used the room to the right of Sir Master's room, which is the room we're in now. Next, the room of a female pastry chef named Delicia was judged.
A female pastry chef? What kind of person is she?
She is a frightening woman who would do anything to achieve her goal.
So she didn't do it, but we're gonna suspect her briefly.
I heard she used lots of cream to make a fantasy-themed dessert.
I really want to see all these rooms.
And lastly, Sir Dover's room was judged.
So did Master enter his own contest? Because I feel like that might be cheating.
His works were frozen statues made from sherbet.
I love sherbet.
Hall discovered the
body in the middle of Gustavia's judging.
I'm not going to do the pauses, because that's just going to throw me off.
She panicked, and because she immediately notified the police, Master continued judging, without knowledge that the body had been discovered. As a result, Master judged Dover's room in Dover's absence. Humph. Seems we have plenty of room to suspect Master.
How do you figure? I'm lacking in information. It's probably too early to object. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you talking to Mr. Gustavia about earlier?
I was asking him about the chocolate frame hanging on that wall. I thought something was missing.
Ah, yeah, it's got fingerprints on it.
I thought if I asked somebody who knew a lot about desserts, I could get an answer. Although, thanks to your arrival, I still haven't gotten my answer yet.
Oh, it is missing a chocolate leaf as well.
Well then, since you've been waiting so long, we can ask him about it right now. I guess you don't understand sarcasm.
I think I said Gregory's line. Mr. Gustavia, can you assist us with the matter? We'll do that next time. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Tokenlad. Talk to you later. Sure to negotiate. See you around Ask Clowns.